Oh, my friend, the only way to get salvation is by chanting the name of the Lord. Without such worship, true happiness and everlasting joy will be denied. This gift of the human body is now yours. Make use of this opportunity and be not like a lamp that tries to burn without a wick. Worship the Lord continuously. Time is passing away.
Sound check, testing 1 2, testing 1 2 1 2, sound check, testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Members of the TV family, my dear mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, friends, well-wishers, supporters, let me bid you Sadhu Sapri Namaste. And today, this morning, at this moment in time, we have assembled at this home of the late Sriman Rajnath Samaroo, also known as Son Burnham, and he was the son of Vasde Saran, father Sidhani, Samaroo, both deceased, husband of Hema Samaroo. Oh, she's alive here. Thank you very much, Mataji. Children Rishi, Shiva, Nalini. 2 grandchildren, Rehan and Rishana. Siblings, Sukit, Kamal, Jaidev, Joe, Koli, Devi, and the late Freddy. Uncle of many, friend of many. So today, my dear brothers and sisters, the end of the road has met with this brother, and we are all assembled to consolidate each other and to pay our last respects and condolences and send them off in a very dignified manner this morning. And for my information, he pinned his faith in the Vedic Dharma Arya Samaj, and I am very much happy to be here as a Vedic Pandit to give his last wishes and send him home this morning according to our Vedic rites. So, with these few words, all we can really do this morning, the body is lying before us, cannot do or hear anything this morning, but we are his family, his many friends, family, as I said, that we are here, and this is the last thing that we can do in saying farewell and goodbye to our father, our brother, our son, who spent his life and his years in this area, in this village, amongst you people. So we are about to begin this morning. In our Satya Sanatan Dharma, Satya Sanatan Vedic Dharma, we believe in 16 sanskaras. And the 16 sanskaras actually the Garbhadan, first act of placing the fetus, and that is when a couple just got married and is about to be blessed with a child. This sanskar is performed between the Pandit and both parties in begging God to send a beautiful soul into the lives of these parents, a beautiful soul into the world. Second is the Punsavan sanskar, the act of instilling vigor in this child on conception. Third one is Simantunayan sanskar, for the conception to be firm and noble, no miscarriage and so on. Then we have 4 Jakaram, which is on birth, we perform another sanskar here. The 5th one is Namkaran, when we name the child, give the child a beautiful name, so the child can grow after that name. The 6th is Nishkraman sanskar, where we now expose the child to the elements. We have a tendency of, as soon as the child is born, and we bring the child home, we tend to take the child out for sun and all, which is very wrong. Not until the child reaches the age of about 26 months, when the body is fully developed to take the elements that is outside here. Anaprashana sanskar, the act of the first feeding of grains and so on to the child. Mundan sanskar, when the child is approximately 1 year, between 3 years to 1 year, we remove the little cup of hair from the child head, for scientific reasons and growth in the child's life. Karanaved, a sanskar to pierce the ears, and we just don't go running to the pawn shops and to the jewel shops and so on, piercing the ears just like that. Upanaya sanskar, where we invest the sacred cord, the sacred thread to the child. Then we have Vedanta sanskar, the study of when the child begins to go to school and so on. Samavartana sanskar, where that child is now grown to a young adult and is preparing to enter Vivaha, into marriage life. Then we have the Vivaha sanskar, the marriage. Then we have Vanpras, community life, after marriage and so on, begetting children and so on. It's time for semi-renunciation, sannyas, when we fully retire. And today, Antyeshi sanskar, where we perform the final rites in one's life. So hardly sometimes we perform the 16 sanskar, just a few, maybe for surety Vivaha sanskar, marriage. Sometimes we perform the modern sanskar, mostly to Vedic families, that is the shaving of the hair. Sometimes we perform the Anaprashan sanskar, the act of feeding. and one also in Namkaran, in naming of a child. Sometimes we do not go for the rest that is on the list here. So today, marking the final step in our dear brother's life, and we are here this morning to perform the Antyeshi sanskar. So my dear devotees, I would like all of you to let us now stand, and we begin this very short ceremony with the chanting of mantras, bhajans, and whatever. In all Vedic rituals, we chant and invoke the blessings of God. Om Paramatman, by his highest name known to us as Sanatan Hindu Vedic Dharmas, believers. Om is the highest name for God, and today we are invoking the blessings of God to be with here throughout this ceremony and throughout our entire life. So as we stand, bow our head, clasp our hands, with a deep inhale breath and an exhaling, we chant that sweet, loving, beautiful name of God, Om, repeatedly 3 times. Omnipresent and omnipotent being, shower your blessings all around us. And my dear devotees, at this point in time, we would like to do a very special bhajan, and I am sure much of you will know this bhajan. You can sing along with me. It's entitled Tumhi Ho Mata Pita Tumhi Ho Bandhu Sakha Tumhi Ho, O God. You are our mother, father, brother, friend, companion. You are everything to us in this world. You are our helper as well. Without you, O God, we have no one else in this world who can stand for us and stand with us. You are the boat and even the rower to take us across this rough sea of life we experience on a daily basis. So join with me as we sing this Shriman Rajnath Samaroo and family. Tumhi ho mata pita tumhi ho, tumhi ho bandhu sakha tumhi ho, tumhi ho mata pita tumhi ho, tumhi ho bandhu sakha tumhi ho, tumhi ho sathi tumhi सहारे कोई न अपना सिवा तुम्हारे तुम ही हो साथी तुम ही सहारे कोई न अपना सिवा तुम्हारे तुम ही हो नैया तुम ही केवैया तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो माता पिता तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो जो किल सके न वो फूल हम है तुम्हारी चरणों की धूल हम हैं की दूर हम हैं, दया की दृष्टि सदा ही रखना, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो. O God, we your children are like that flowers that cannot blossom, because the spring of joy has not yet visited us, O God. We are like the dust at your lotus feet. Always have mercy upon us as your beautiful children. Oh, Paramatman, I thank you very much, and we now take your seats. And as we continue this morning, we would like to chant some beautiful Vedic mantras called the Brahmastotra mantras. And these mantras is final benediction prayers to the purpose that we are here this evening for. And for those of you who will know these mantras, please join with me. If not, you can just send some nice wishes and some thoughts of your mind to the deceased soul, wherever it may be at this time. Namaste Satite Jagat Karnaya, Namaste Chiti Sarvalokashrayaya, Namo Dvaitattvaya Mukti Pradaya, Namo Brahmani Vyapini Shashvataya. O God, salutations to you, O Supreme God, Eternal Lord, cause of support of this universe. Salutations to you, O source of consciousness, O source of happiness, and giver of bliss. Over and over again, we salute you, O all-pervading God. Tvamekam Sharanyam, Tvamekam Varenyam, Tvamekam Jagatpalakam Svarprakasham, Tvamekam Jagatkatri Patri Pravartri, Tvamekam Param Nischalam Nirvikalpam. O God, you alone are our protector and maintainer of the universe. You are self-effulgent. You alone are the cause of the sustainer and the dissolver of this manifest universe, O God. You are the greatest of all, unchangeable and formless. Bhayanam bhayam bhishanam bhishananam, gati praninam pavanam pavananam, mahochai padanam niyantri tvamekam, paresham param rakshanam rakshananam. O God, you are feared by the fearless. You are the ruler of rulers and the highest of the high. You are the protector of protectors, the purity, the purest ones, and the way of all mankind. Vayam Tvam Smaramo, Vayam Tvam Bhajamo, Vayam Tvam Jagat Sakshirupam Namamah, Sadekam Nidhanam Niralam Bhagisham, Bhavam Bodhipotam Sharanyam Vrajamah. And you, O God, you are always present in our minds at all times. May we always study your divine nature, and may we adore you alone on the basis of the testimony of the manifest universe. You are the support of all, but you're self-supporting, O God, O Supreme One. You alone are our guide in the sea of life. May we always keep pinning our thoughts, remembering and realizing you, O Pitaji. Natasya kaschit patirasti loki, nacheshita nevya chatasya lingam,
Sakaranam karnadipadipo nachasya kaschit janita nachadipa. O God, and there is no one above you, and no ruler greater than you. You are formless and without an image. You are the cause of all causes. O God, remember and always remember that you are unborn. Tameshvaranam paramam maheshwaram tam devatanam paramam hidevatam patim patinam paramam parastad vidham devam bhuvaneshamidayam. And you are the Lord of all lords. Only you are worthy of contemplation and study by all great men. You are the Master of Masters, O ruler of the universe. May we always recount your attributes and always keep thinking of you. I would like everyone to join me in this final chant. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhus Chasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. O God, you alone our mother, and you alone our father. You alone our relative and our greatest friend. You alone are our wealth and knowledge in life. You are our all and in all, our only God and Deva. So these are the beautiful Vedic mantras that we chanted in honor and glorifying our deceased brother and contemplation of God this morning. At this time we would like to do another bhajan, and this is entitled Kal Raha So Ajna Aru Ajahe So Abanahi, and Chakrayah Sansar Ka Gomat Sada Isabatihi. Okay? And listen to the words very carefully what the poet is explaining here. He says that the world of matter is fleeting and perishable, O man. What existed yesterday is no longer exists today. Just like our brother, he was here a few days ago, walking, talking, speaking, and moving about. But today, look where he is in front of us, in a coffin, unable to do here anything at this point in time. What was today is no longer now. Thus, O man, unendingly, the wheel of the world keeps revolving. Okay? Life is like a strange creeper that has neither beginning nor end. Since we know the soul to be immortal, it does not die when the body is slain or dead. The soul does not die here. It continues on and on based on its karmic actions in the different process of reincarnation that occupy different bodies. So the poet is saying life is like a strange creeper that has neither beginning nor end. One moment it blossoms and bears fruit, and it's speaking about the universe. So when you look around, you see this universe, how it is blossoming and bearing fruits. And while at the other moment it withers only to be born anew again. Okay? So let us do the song, beautiful song on the occasion of the Anteshi Sanskar. Kal raha so ajna aru aaj hai so ab nahi, chakrayah sansar ka घूमत सदा इस बात ही, कल रहा सो आज ना अरु आज है सो अब नहीं, और है ना चोर है जीवन का अद्भुत सदा, और है ना चोर जीवन लता अद्भुत सदा, बढ़ती तथा मुरझात फिर नूतन भरी कर रहा सो आई कौन आया है यहाँ सब काल रहने के लिए कौन आया है यहाँ सब काल रहने के लिए कर्म सींचे फैलती हुई जीवन कली कल रहा सो आज ना और आज है सो अब नहीं. Oh man, the poet is reminding all of us that everyone who comes into the world is finally brought to an end one day only by time. No one steps forever. No one stays forever, sorry. Realize that while living, the role, the poet in this song is that our life is like a flowers, alright? It's like a rose watered by the actions that we perform in this life. If we do it good, we reap the good rewards. If we do it bad, we cannot expect good rewards. Okay? So this is what the poet is explaining. Nar nar sati yaha sukh dukh apne bhag se sukh dukh, happiness, sorrow. लोक भी मिथ्या नहीं जीवन कला है सीखनी कल रहा सो आज न और आज है सो अब नहीं. O man, in this world people experience pleasure and pain. As I just said, sukh and dukh, happiness and sorrow, pleasure and pain, on the basis of their actions committed in life, not by nothing else. It's important to understand that the world is not an illusion, woman, but a stark reality. And so we must learn the true art of living while occupying this beautiful human body. And I was blessed with another chance by God to live this life. Stop checking, my dear devotees. Listen to what the poet is telling us. Dharma ko pehchan lo, aru karma yogi hoyalo. Dharma ko pehchan lo, aru karma yogi hoyalo. Ish ko nit nehalo, bas aur dusar hai. कल रहा सो आज न और आज है सो अब नहीं. So what we ought to do, my dear brothers and sisters, what we ought to do while living this life, the poet is saying, recognize your duty and perform the duty with non-attachment. That is what he is reminding us. Duty with non-attachments while we perform here. Constantly says to love God constantly, for there is no one else worth loving. Yes, we love our wife, we love our children, we love our family, but beyond that, we must never forget that God is our full support and He is the one who needs loving as well. Let us not forget Him. Okay? So at this moment in time, I will now like to call on the, I think it's the niece. She is Rishana, and she will do for us the eulogy this morning. Sorry, granddaughter.
Sitaram, everybody. I am Rishana, the granddaughter of Rajnath. He was fondly called Grandpa. You may have passed from this world, but you have yet to pass from my heart. I miss you with every day that rises and sets, and not a single one goes by without an itch in my heart. I would do anything to be able to say goodbye. I wrap the memory of you up in my head, put it in a bottle and let it sail far into my soul. Maybe if soul speaks, you see my goodbye and know that we are never far apart. I love you, Grandpa.
Okay, very short and sweet. A few words, maybe comforting her grandfather. And, you know, I myself will not have any experience. I've known this brother. But this morning what we are doing here in general is that we are observing life, we are celebrating life, and that this is what we are doing this morning. So, I'd like to do another bhajan at this time. It is entitled Bharosa Kar तो ईश्वर पर तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा, ये जीवन बीत जाएगा, तुझे रोना नहीं होगा. That, oh man, have confidence in God and you will never feel deceived in life. With such confidence you will spend the rest of your life without rona, without crying, my dear devotees. कभी सो कहे कभी तो कहे, ये जीवन धूप छाया है, हंसी में भी बिता डालो, बिताने ही माया है. That Jivan is his life. And the poet is saying that this life is made up of dual experiences, of pain and of pleasure. Okay? Of heat and cold. The poet is advising us that if we have to live this life, and live we must, then let us live it with joy and much of sorrow. Alright? And it goes like this. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. ये जीवन बीत जाएगा, ये जीवन बीत जाएगा, तुझे रोना नहीं होगा. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. कभी सुख है कभी दुख है, ये जीवन धूप छाया है. कभी सुख है कभी दुख है, ये जीवन धूप छाया है. हंसी में भी बिता डालो, हंसी में भी बिता डालो, बिताने ही ये माया है. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. जो सुख आवे तू हंस देना, जो दुख आवे तू सह लेना. न कहना कुछ कभी जग से, न कहना कुछ कभी जग से, प्रभु से ही तू कह देना. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. Oh man, when happiness comes, yes, then welcome it with a smile. But when pain comes, also at the same time, enjoy it with a smile as well. Never complain to the world, oh man. If ever at all you have to complain in life and say anything, then complain and say to God. ये कुछ भी तू नहीं जग में, तेरा बस कर्म की माया. तू खुद ही धूप में बैठा, तू खुद ही धूप में बैठा, लिखे निज रूप की छाया, भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा। Nothing is yours in this wide world, O man, except the fruits of your actions that is not performed while you are alive. And when you are fully exposed to sunlight, you see a reflection of your own face. In the same way, the poet is reminding us, O man, when you are fully involved in the world, you clearly see what your life is made up of. The pleasures, pains, enthusiasm, and the insecurities as well. All of these things is what we call dual experiences in time. So this is what the poet is saying in the song, and today as we are performing this Nantishi Sanskar, so many nice beautiful messages will come out of these bhajans, these geets, and also the chantings and so on, that can help us as living people, that wherever we are going wrong in our lives, yes, we can make the different changes and to do better. Such a Sanatan Dharma, such a Sanatan Vedic Dharma also gives that opportunity that for those who have done wrong, committed wrong, did heinous things in life, yes, as long as you are willing to surrender to God, make the promise that you will not turn to that life anymore, yes, God is willing to stretch His hands and help you and take you out from here, my dear brothers and sisters. So we don't need to left to search to go elsewhere where we can get this forgiveness. We must also remember that as human beings we are to be the first. We are to be the first. When we pronounce this word forgiveness, we are to be the first to ever be forgiven. How many times that, a lot of us have done wrong to others, or others have done wrong to us, alright? How much time that I know fully well in my own heart that I did wrong to a person, I caused pain, I caused suffering to that person, I caused great grief in the life of that person. How many of us are willing to go to that person and say, brother, sister, I am sorry for what I have done to you? How many of us are willing to do that? If we cannot do that, don't ever think that going to ask of God forgiveness it will work, my brothers. Not going to happen. Everything begins with us, you with me. It starts with us. Everything is in our hands. God gave us His beautiful world, His beautiful life. He is just there witnessing and watching. When we are doing the wrong things, He will not come to hold back our hands. He will never do that. He can't do that. He will be hampering our freedom in this world. We are here to perform our actions, but based on the actions we have committed, through the laws of karma, will be judged accordingly too. And God cannot retribute His own laws. He can never do it. Regardless you are a king, a prime minister, whatever status in life you may have, God is not going to retribute His laws for any single soul. Remember that. So this life is in our hands. What we choose to do with it is what we give is what we expect to get. My dear devotees, as I continue this morning, there is a beautiful shloka I would like to chant from the Manusmriti, a book called the Manusmriti. And this Manusmriti, one will ask, what is Manusmriti? Who is Manusmriti? Manusmriti is actually the lawgiver of this universe. And to every creation, there will always come a Manu to give the laws unto mankind, the do's and the don'ts in life, what we should do and what we should not do. And according to Lord Manu, in doing the checks and balances in life, this is what he advises through this shloka as I chant. Ahar nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanyam etat pashubhir naranam dharmo hitesham adiko visheshu धर्मे नहीं न पशुभिः समानः आहार निद्रा भयमैथुनं च सामान्यमेतत् पशुभिर्नराणाम् धर्मो हि तेषाम् अधिको विशेषो धर्मे नहीं न पशुभिः समानः पशु animals Sanskrit Pashu, animals. Ahar and Nidrasit, mantra says, it says, and listen carefully my dear brothers and sisters, it says food, sleep, fear and mating. Alright? These 1, 2, 3, 4. These are common to both Pashu, animals and human beings as well. Okay? So Lord Manu is advising us that Dharma, this sense of duty and virtue, stands out in human beings. So without a sense of Dharma, without a sense of duty and virtue and morals and disciplines in life, alright, human beings are just like animals. This is what Lord Manu is saying, not me. Okay? So according to Lord Manu in this shloka here, today, my dear devotees, if we look around, irregardless, sometimes we have this human body, and we are here to understand why we have given this birth to this human body. What are the do's and don'ts in life, right? As a human being, so that we can tread on the path in making our life beautiful, so that our karmic actions may be good, and the next life around could be a human being. If not, it can be go to different animal worlds, whatever, based on our actions perform, right? So he continues to say that animals live instinctively. Human beings have freedom of will, something that animals do not have. So when Dharma dictates how we should use this freedom of will, we achieve emancipation. And as I just said, try to explain Dharma. In other words, Dharma is that which ensures welfare for the world and non-injury for living beings, whether it is animals or human beings. Non-injury. Okay? So this is a small synopsis on the explanation of Dharma, my dear devotees. Alright? So, all of us here in this beautiful human body, we was blessed probably in the last birth to have done something good to attain this body. So we are given the opportunity to continue from here. And where we left off, in the next life, if we didn't make it to emancipation, we get the opportunity to go higher, closer to God, closer to moksha, closer to liberation, right? So we may not gain it in one life, we cannot and will not. It will take us janam janam ki mere each other, as the singer said, birth after birth in order to gain this emancipation. So, most importantly, we got to understand our duty here. If we look around, we can see these murderers, these criminals, these rapists, and so on. They are human beings too, not so? But why they are committing these heinous crimes so? Why? That's the question. So, just what Lord Manu is saying, that even though they are in a human body, their actions are animalistic, and therefore they are programmed to do these heinous type of killings and so on. Alright? Though they have this human body, and that is not the purpose for this human body. So we are just here witnessing what is happening. But we as human beings have no justification to such person and their lives. All we can do, we can pity at times, try to help to reform them. And if it cannot happen, if with our try, eventually there is one law of action called the law of karma, which is a universal law. And through that law, justice will be served by God according to our actions committed in life. So here we have this beautiful human body, and we should try to understand why we use this body, why we have this body, why we are here, who am I, what I'm here for, and after here, where is my destination, where I'm going. I see it says that this is from the Yajurveda, and it says Om Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita magridha kasya swedhanam magridha kasya swedhanam. The mantra is saying and reminding all of us, O man, this entire universe is pervaded by the Supreme Being who exists in every particle and every atom of this world, whether it be on earth, whether it be in the air, different locals in the atmosphere, beneath the oceans, wherever it may be. He says God is present in every particle and atom of this world. So the mantra is saying and reminding us to listen, O man, enjoy this life. But what? With a detached mind. Enjoy this life with a detached mind. The resources of this world, which are really gifts of God, that He gave us this world as a gift for us to enjoy our life. O man, do not ever lust after the wealth of any existing creature, which is also sharing this world with all of us. Out of the 8,400,000 species of life forms, my dear devotees, the human being this human body attains to be the highest. And this is why that we are blessed with this human body. We operate with the buddhi, the intellect. We can learn the sciences. We can go to the moon, we can go to the stars. Can the animal do this? No, they can't. This is the blessings of this human body. What we use this body to do? Commit sins, rape, murder, crime. Check yourselves, O man. Then from the Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna, Yogeshwara Krishna says, Udhare Atman Atmanam Na Atmanam Avasadaye Atma Eva Hyatmanu Bandhur Atma Eva Ripura Atmana Atma Eva Ripura Atmana, chapter 6, verse 15. And listen this carefully, my dear devotees. I want you to listen with rapid attention. Shri Krishna also, first one is the Vedic, which is our original scriptures. Second one, Yogeshwar Shri Krishna Ji. And he is saying in this shloka, he says that, O man, one should live oneself by one's own action. One should not degrade oneself, for one's own self is one's own best friend, while at the other time, one's own self is one's own worst enemy. How nicely put across, my dear devotees. Shri Krishna is echoing this in the Bhagavad Gita. Where did he get these lessons he's teaching from? From Ved Mata. He got it here. Echoed it in the Bhagavad Gita, it is also echoed in the Upanishads as well. And most of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita came from Upanishads. Upanishads is actually from the Vedas that the rishis break it down into smaller particles that we can understand it. Shri Krishna is advising. So when you say that somebody outside there is my enemy, something is really wrong here, my devotees. With the buddhi wise, something is wrong. Because there is no enemy existing outside here. Nothing. We have a little mix up in the mind. What is inside of you is that what will comes out of you. And if enmity is there inside of you, yes, you will be an enemy to the world. Alright? But if friendship exists in you, then you will be a friend unto this world. You will be a friendly person. Shri Krishna is advising this. So check yourself, O man. You should always try to understand this life. And the final is from the Ramcharitmanas and is entitled it comes from 742.4 Ramcharitmanas. I think this is from the Uttarakhand. And it goes like this. Bhare bhag manush tanu pawa Sura durlabh sab grantan hi gawa Sadhan dham moksha kar dwara पाई न जे परलोक सवारा। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम. And by explanations, Bhare, big, Bhare, Bhaiya, Bhari, Behenji, big sister, big brother, Bhare, big, Bhag, great, Manush, man, Tanu, power, great fortune in attaining this human body. Sur, all great saints, Duralab, they say that it is difficult. Sab, all, Grantan Gawa, the sacred scriptures as well. Sadhan, yoga, discipline, morality. This is what Sri Ram is saying here. Dham, board, residence, moksha. When we pray to get moksha, liberation, spiritual happiness. Kardwara, the door, the gateway to happiness. Painaji paraloka savara. So in essence, the Chaupai is saying that all the great scriptures declare with one voice, O man, that it is out of great fortune that you and me have been born in this beautiful human body, O man. Even educated souls, after committing so many different kind of sins, find it difficult to have the blessings of this human birth again. This body, O man, is a heaven suitable for spiritual practices and a very gateway, dwara, to spiritual freedom. Those who attain or those who have this beautiful human body here now and fail to uplift yourself will have to undergo the countless cycle of birth and death as you continue. Okay, so my dear devotees, I choose to do this course rather than going over, but it's good to understand it, that what is death and how we can understand death and what the soul is here for, why we have the soul in this body and all of these things. Yes, in a sense, but I kind of transform it in a way that brings the actual message that even this brother is lying motionless before us, but over his dead body we can learn so much that we can make changes in our own lives. This is the purpose of death. So sometimes we say, I'm going to a funeral because I'm going to show my face, I want to show my support. Yes, fine. Thank you very much for that. But at the same time, every time we approach or attend a funeral, it's a learning process for us as the living ones. We got to examine ourselves. Are we doing it perfectly? Are we doing it correctly? If not, we still have a chance to do it straighten up and correct before the time is too late. This is why we are gifted with this human body, my dear devotees. So I urge you to pay attention to your life, to live a very beautiful life, to become a blessing to this world rather than being a burden. And finally, in understanding life, this is something I like to read by an anonymous person. So today our brother, he lived his life and is now going back. Okay? He's now going back. As I said, we are here to send our blessings and our goodness to his soul wherever it may be. Alright? So, this one goes like this. Ready or not, someday it will all come to an end. There will be no more sunrises, no minutes, hours or days. All the things you collected, whether you treasured or forgotten, will pass on to someone else, maybe your children, your relatives. That's including your wealth, your fame, whatever status you occupy in this life. Alright? Temporal power will shrivel to irrelevance. It will not matter what you owe, what you were owed, O-W-E-D. Your grudges, resentments, frustrations, and jealousies will finally disappear. So too your hopes, ambitions, plans and the to-do list will expire. Oh man, the wins and the losses that once seemed so important will also fade away. It won't matter where you came from, on what side of the tracks you live on, what part of the universe, or the other end. It won't matter whether you were beautiful or brilliant, even your gender, male or female, and skin color, whether I'm an Indian, African, Chinese, Portuguese, whatever you may be, will be irrelevant. So then what will matter, my dear brothers and sisters? What will matter? How will the value of your days be measured? This is the question. What will matter is not what you bought, but what you built in this life. Not what you got, but what you gave. Not what will matter is not your success, but your significance. What will matter is not what you learn, but what you taught others in life. What will matter is every act of integrity, compassion, courage, or sacrifice that enrich, empower, and encourage others to emulate and follow in your example. What will matter is not your competence, but your character. What will matter is not how many people you knew, but how many will feel a lasting loss, L-O-S-S, when you are gone. What will matter is not your memories, but the memories that you live in those who love you. What will matter is how long you will be remembered, and by whom, and for what. Living a life that matters doesn't happen by accident, my dear devotees. It's not a matter of circumstances, but a matter of choices. So choose to live a life that matters, and as I just said, be a blessing to this world rather than being a burden. Alright? If you can just understand this today, or some of these things today, as we attend this beautiful brother funeral, then we are really, really moving on the road to success. So one final bhajan, and we will be soon to close the proceeding this morning. Okay, I found it. In wrapping up, the bhajan says, "Hona jaye kahi ye barbaad, jo nar tan tujhko mila, जाने कितने जन्म की बार ये नर तन तुझको मिला." So, O man, based on what you have heard this morning, on the occasion of this brother's funeral, remember, as living ones attending this morning, the poet is reminding all of us to be careful, O man, lest you destroy the divine potentials of this beautiful life, this beautiful human body you are currently occupying. You don't know how, after how many lives, you now enjoy this human birth again, as I stressed it. In past lives, you were entangled in a net of wrong actions, O man, and your soul was bound to bodies other than human beings. So every time you are born, don't ever think that you are born as a human being. Not so. You cried out to God for Him to bless you, O man, with human life, pledging that you would perform what? Virtuous actions. Live a good life. Alright? And now that you have human life, oh man, what we do? We wax mighty. I am rich, man. I have so many acres of land. I have so much thousands in the bank, or so much millions in the bank. I own this and I own that. So what we do? We wax mighty in riches we have acquired, and have forgotten the pledge we made to God to perform virtuous actions while we live. Alright? We hardly remember why God gave us this human body. We don't even remember that. We go about our business freely. So the song goes like this. हो न जाए कहीं बर्बाद जो नर तन तुझको मिला, हो न जाए कहीं बर्बाद जो नर तन तुझको मिला, जाने कितने जन्म की बार, जाने कितने जन्म की बार ये नर्तन तुझको मिला, ये नर्तन तुझको मिला। हो न जाए कहीं बर्बाद जो नर्तन तुझको मिला। कर्मों के बंधन में अटका, जाने कहाँ कहाँ तू भटका। कर्मों के बंधन में अटका, जाने कहाँ कहाँ तू भटका। तूने कीनी बहुत फरियाद, तूने कीनी बहुत फरियाद, तू नर्तन तुझको मिला, तू नर्तन तुझको मिला। हो न जाए कहीं बर्बाद जो नर्तन तुझको मिला। नर्तन पाकर ऐसा भूला, शुभ कर्मों का वादा भूला। नर्तन पाकर ऐसा भूला, शुभ कर्मों का वादा भूला। तुझे आई कभी ना यार, तुझे आई कभी ना यार, क्यों नर्तन तुझको मिला, क्यों नर्तन तुझको मिला। हो न जाए कहीं बर्बाद जो नर्तन तुझको मिला। जीवन जाता है कुछ कर ले, भव सागर से पार उतर ले। जीवन जाता है कुछ कर ले, भव सागर से पार उतर ले। ये न यूं ही मिले हर बार, ये न यूं ही मिले हर बार जो नर्तन तुझको मिला, जो नर्तन तुझको मिला। हो न जाए कहीं बर्बाद जो नर्तन तुझको मिला। Oh man, the minutes of your life are just ticking away. Hurry up and seek to cross over to the ocean, Bhavasagar of this world. You won't have human life again. What? Just by barely begging and asking God for it. You won't let it so. Do what is required now, O man, and surely in your next birth you will have at least, if not all, but some. So I want to say thank you very much, my dear devotees. Thank you very much for your patience, your time that you gave me this morning. And that whatever, as I said, that nothing is really mentioned that we can do for the deceased soul, but the lessons are more for while we are alive, you know. Do whatever we can, do whatever is best, and we will be able to help at least part of our fulfillment that we're supposed to be here. So you've been listening to me for the past hour or so, and I would like to bring the proceedings in this morning, but before doing so, there are some beautiful flowers in the form of bouquet, fresh flowers, malas, and then we have some fresh picked flowers here in the basin. So my dear devotees, as I sing this final bhajan, I will now like to give the opportunity to all the family members, the children, the immediate family, to all the well-wishers, friends and supporters. You can come up while I do this bhajan and offer, well, the family will offer the malas and so on, maybe roses and so on, but you, the many friends and relatives, can offer the loose flowers. So you come up, take a flower, and you know, from the heart, whatever wishes you would like to say to the soul, this is the last we can do in the form of the flowers as we offer to you. This is the last. We say farewell and goodbye, my dear brother, Rajnath Samaroo. Naya. O Creator of this world, take away our pains, our sorrows, help us quickly, for our boat is caught in the current of this worldly entanglements, O God. दुख दूर कर हमारा संसार के रचैया जल्दी से दो सहारा मझदार में है नैया दुख दूर कर हमारा संसार के रचैया तुम बिन कोई हमारा रक्षक नहीं यहाँ पर ढूंढा जान सारा तुम सा नहीं रखैया दुख दूर कर हमारा संसार के रचैया दुनिया में खूब देखा आके पसार करके साथी नहीं हमारा माँ बाप और भैया दुख दूर कर हमारा संसार के रचैया. Please, any present family, you can go up now. Well wishes. दुनिया में फंस के हमको हासिल हुआ न कुछ फल दुनिया में फंस के हमको हासिल हुआ न कुछ फल तेरा बिना हमारा कोई नहीं सुनैया दुख दूर कर हमारा संसार के रचैया. Woman, we entangle in this world and we have no reward from our hands. Without you, O God, there is no one to listen to our prayer. So, O man, in singing the song, finalizing the service this morning here, we should all remember, as I just said, to live a life and be a blessing to this world. Don't do like what is happening in the Middle East, somewhere on that corner this time, that one man is killing by the thousands of other human beings, is dislocating by the millions. And for what? Did that person brought anything into this world? How we can now be causing so much thing? These are the lessons to learn, O man. Be a blessing to this world. दुख दूर कर हमारा संसार के रचैया जल्दी से दो सहारा मझदार में है नैया दुख दूर कर हमारा संसार के रचैया. So while we are still, making our offering of flowers and so on, our dear learned Pandit Ramdev is here with us, a very well-known Pandit in Trinidad and Tobago from the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha. I guess that he is in that Mahasabha, not too sure, but whatever. Panditji is here outside for a long while preaching Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha. And before we actually close, we would like to give a few minutes to our dear Reverend Panditji, Pandit Ramdevji.
Vishwarupaya Namo Bhagavate Vishwarupaya Shri Vishwa Sharanamama Omkara Sharanamama Shri Vishwa Sharanamama Omkara Sharanamama. At a time like this, we should, or the best thing we could do, is try and intercede on behalf of the departed one, so that his journey onwards will be made as comfortable and as happy as possible. Sharan mein aaye hai hum tumhare, daya karo hai dayalu Bhagavan. Sharan mein aaye hai hum tumhare, दया करो है दयालु भगवन, संभालो बेगरे दशा हमारे, दया करो है दयालु भगवन, संभालो बेगरे दशा हमारे, दया करो है।
मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. O God, thou art the giver of life, the remover of pains and sorrow, the bestower of happiness. O Creator of the universe, may we receive thy supreme sin destroying light, and may thou guide our intellect in the right direction. O Lord, in thee may all be happy, may all be free from pain and misery, may all realize goodness, and may no one suffer from any suffering whatsoever, O God. O Lord, lead us from all that is untruthful in our lives to all that is beautiful and truthful. Lead us from the darkness of ignorance, hate, jealousy, and all these negative tendencies, O God, onto the light of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. O God, lead us from this physical death onto immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much. And for those of you who didn't get the opportunity to view the body, you may now do so. And in a few moments, we will be leaving to proceed to the Yankaran cremation shows. So I now left cut on the funeral agency to see what I will do. Oh yes, and before we should actually move away, we have our dear son, member of the family cancer, to do the final vote of thanks.
Good morning, everybody. As you may know, I am Rajnath, the grandson of Rajnath, and on behalf of the Sarang and Samaroo family, we would like to extend our sincere gratitude to everyone who supported us in our time of grief. For the past 4 years, everyone who assisted us, we wish to say that we really, really appreciate it. And to my grandfather's siblings, a very special thank you for being there for him in the last 2 weeks. Thank you to the friends of Phoenix Park for also being there for him, and to all others who helped in other ways, we thank you. May God bless us.
Thank you very much, Peter Rihanna, grandson. That beautiful sentimental thank you. And you know, a very young man indeed, and you know, I can imagine that his grandfather would have been proud to see him grow up to be what he really wants to be in life. Okay? Thank you very much, and remember that COVID is still here. It has not left us yet. So please be aware of your movements, your association zone, stay at a distance, and let's try to observe the health protocols even while we say farewell and goodbye. Thank you, may God richly bless all of you, and may you have a very beautiful and productive day and week ahead. Thank you very much.
Right.